Back to another edition of NASCAR DFS preview with the Sports Chief. I'm AustYn. So we just got off of the race at Darlington on Sunday, so we're doing something quite different with a race in the middle of the week. I thought I'd bring you guys a video here on Wednesday just to see what we're doing. We didn't have that great of a day on Sunday, to be honest with you. None of our guys in our lineup really led any of the laps. Kevin Harvick pretty much dominated the race. Brad Keselowski leading most of the race as well. So as far as strategy goes, going to be using the same kind of things that I was using going into Sunday. So track history is very key. I think it's very important to look at how the race went Sunday. Although with the race being scheduled for Wednesday, I have a very good feeling that it's probably going to end up being ran on Thursday night, which is where they're scheduling it for, possibly in case it rains out, with the Xfinity race raining out on Tuesday. So we'll see how, I believe it's the tropical storm Arthur out there is doing on the coast in South Carolina. See how that affects the race. Jet drivers can only do so much when it's dry. So they're running a total of 228 laps, so it's going to be a shorter race. Think of more like an Xfinity Series race. This is kind of what you're looking at in terms of length. They're calling it 500K. Not really sure what the K is for there. It's definitely not kilometers or anything, but it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Temperatures, we're looking at around 75-ish for race day on Thursday. So this is what I'm kind of going off of. I don't think they'll get it in on Wednesday. I'm sorry. I don't think they'll get it in on Wednesday. It's supposed to be like in the 50s, 60s, so pretty cool temps. The rain's going to wash away pretty much most of the rubber that was laid down for the race on Sunday. So it's going to be a new track, and that's going to be a little more difficult to gauge. So let's just go ahead and see what DraftKings has to offer for us, and definitely going to be a different week and probably a shorter video here. So let's check it out. All right. So they have given us Kyle Busch starting in 26th at 12,000, Kevin Harvick starting in 20th at 11,600, Martin Truex Jr. starting in 15th at 11,100, Denny Hamlin starting in 16th at 10,700, Chase Elliott starting in 17th at 10,300, and Alex Bowman starting in 19th at 10,000. So we've got our 610K guys, a little different than usual, seems like. Alex Bowman creeping in there. Bowman performed pretty well Sunday, bringing in a second place finish, as you can tell, started in second. So Kevin Harvick starting in 20th is going to be a pretty chalky pick, in my opinion, and I think Kyle Busch will be as well. Kyle didn't show a lot of speed on Sunday, but he did make some runs going basically up and down throughout the field. So he's definitely one driver to keep an eye on. Denny Hamlin is always a smart pick as well. I don't think you can really go wrong with Denny Hamlin. Chase Elliott had a good top 5 finish. So it was very interesting on Sunday that Jimmy Johnson got in a wreck while leading. He's going to be given the 37th spot. So the way qualifying was set was the top 20 finishers were inverted. Therefore, Harvick started 20th, and Ryan Preece, who finished 20th in the race, will be on the pole. So that's one thing to keep an eye on. And Ty Dillon will be starting second. So with that being said, this is one guy that I'm going to go with, and that is Joey Logano starting in third. Not the greatest starting position, but I think you can. Here's my strategy to it. This is my pick to probably win the race. It's a shorter race. Logano's going to be up front most of the time, get that clean air. I think he'll get by Ty Dillon and Ryan Preece rather easily. I predict him to lead at least 100 laps and at least probably get a top 10. So I think that's a good option to go with. While these other picks, Busch, Harvick, all these guys are great, and they will give you a ton of points if they finish well. There's just too easy of a strategy for me going into this week. So as you can tell, Jimmy Johnson starting in 37th. I am going to pick Jimmy Johnson. If he gets like 10th, he can give us close to 60 points or so, probably more than that. I had John Hunter Nemechek and Tyler Reddick in the race last week. So just to give you an example, John Hunter started in 34th, finished 9th, got you 60 points, right? So Jimmy Johnson can get 12th or so and get you around that total. Hey, and William Byron's there. William Byron actually was up front, got there, and he looked pretty fast, had a vibration, blew a tire, wrecked, was pretty pissed off about it. So I look for William Byron to finish pretty well, at least get me a top 15. Those are great starting spots for fast drivers. And the fact that I can get those three there, very likely to win the race, all three. I feel like I'm saving some money doing that rather than going high on Kyle Busch, because I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of the guys lower here, 75 and under, Almirola, Boyer, Dillon, DiBenedetto, they're about where they probably will finish. Christopher Bell, do I think he'll perform a lot better in 24th? Probably not. So it's kind of a thing that, you look in here, Suarez is starting in a really good spot. Ty Dillon's starting in a really good spot. Nemechek is as well. McDowell, Bubba Wallace. Corey LaJoy would be the only one that I would even think about going with. And Ryan Preece, there's no way you should pick Ryan Preece unless you're just a Preece fan. You think, man, he's going to lead the whole race. Greg Alding's going to be in the 27 Rick Ware Racing Ford. Panini is actually sponsoring him, so for those of you who like to collect sports cards and stuff, ball cards, that's pretty cool. Looked like a pretty bad ride, too. Looked pretty cool, red and yellow. So $7,500 to spend. There was one driver, as soon as this happened, I knew I was going with him, and that's Ricky Stenhouse. He's starting in 39th. It's going to be difficult for me to fade Ricky. A lot of people are going to be picking him. He's going to be chalky. And I'm telling you, these three guys right here are going to be very chalky, but I'm really hoping Joey Logano pulls me out, and that brings me up to where I need to be, because I think the race probably will be decently predictable. They want to get out of Darlington and, have a safe race, go on to Charlotte for the 600 and keep the season going. So I like Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 39th. Another driver I really love is Chris Buescher, starting in 32nd. That's probably who I'm going with. Tyler Reddick is a very good option as well, so I'm going to go with Chris Buescher here, and then finalize it with Cole Custer. The reason being, Chris Buescher, as I stated, for the last race, Chris Buescher was a guy who had an average finish of 14.8. If he gets me 15th place, that's an amazing choice. So I really like that. And Cole Custer, Cole actually looked pretty fast somewhat. Not a great option for me, just to be honest, but I do like the Stewart-Haas engines better than Daniel Suarez or John Hunter. Sorry, didn't mean to call him Joe there, but I don't think Ryan Newman's going to get better in 6th. He may get top 10, but I do like, Cole Custer could possibly get a top 10. So I don't know if he'll be heavily owned. I think that's one that will be decently owned. I think Buescher will probably be 30, 40. Stenhouse will probably be closer to 50. Byron will be closer to 50, and Jimmy will be as well. Joe Logano, I figure, will be 15 to 20 probably. Then you're looking at Harvick and Busch probably in the upper 20s, 30s. It's a really weird week, but that's what I'm going with on the Sports Chief. So let me just go ahead and clear this out. And see what you could do. I mean, you could go Kyle Busch. Say if I was making another lineup here, I would go Kyle Busch. I would definitely go Christopher Bell, be in the 24th spot there. Probably look at Stenhouse at 7,900, Buescher 8,100, Tyler Reddick at 77, and probably like a Matt DiBenedetto. You could even go with Cole Custer there. The thing is, you got one driver that's probably going to lead most of the race, so I feel like I'm going with a more balanced approach here. Definitely a cash game strategy. So Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, William Byron, Chris Buescher, Ricky Stenhouse, and Cole Custer. So that's what the Sports Chief is rolling out. Get a good look at it there. All right. So there you have it. The Toyota owners, $500K at Darlington Raceway. We're getting the season. I'm pretty pumped. Not letting Sunday get us down here. We're going to keep strolling. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, just go to the bottom of this video and ask us something. Also, follow us on Twitter at The Sports Chief. We also have our own website, of course, www.thesportschief.com, and on Instagram at The Sports Chief. All of that information's on the info part of the YouTube video, so check us out. We look forward to bringing you more videos, and looking forward to the Coke 600 on Sunday, and hope you have a good race week.